welcome to the real winter. So I'm really far north in New York, close to Canada somewhere. And what I want to do today is talk about AI-enabled browsers or other AI-enabled applications. I kind of want to generalize them into one category because, first of all, we don't really know what AI browser is going to look like. But there is going to be definitely a tendency to have lots of these AI-enabled applications. And what I want to talk about today is some of the dangers that they can present. So let's talk about that today. It took a little while for me how to even approach this subject. So kind of came up with a plan. Gonna do some hand waving here. So see if you can follow me. So let's do this. Let's say right here we have our AI engine, right? The AI model that's going to be doing something, right? And on one side, we are going to have data that's coming into the model. And then on the other side, we're going to have actions that AI is going to do. So let's take an example. Let's say we have an AI browser that it is triggered to perform an action on a particular website as you browse the web, right? So the easiest thing to think of is like summaries or something like that, which is not something we're totally worried about, but as an example, right? So we have data coming in from the web page that you're currently browsing. AI is analyzing that, and then as the output, the action that it takes, it creates some kind of summary or maybe bullet points or does something else. Oh, no, this is clearly not gonna work out like that. All right, got the tripod stable. Okay, let's try this one more time. So the second concept we have to understand is prompt injection. This is something I talked about it before. This is where we can take a string of text and add it to LLM query and trick it doing something that it's not supposed to be doing. Now, we already have similar problem or had similar problem with SQL Server. I'm sure you heard about SQL injection attacks. That's where you take the data and you put it into the command. So let's say you have a website that says, what is your name? Instead of the first name, you type in delete all data. And then the SQL confuses the name with the command and goes and deletes all the data. Now, we have solved that problem by basically separating the data and the actual action. The problem we have with LLM is we don't have that concept when we're dealing with prompts to a large language model. There is no separation between data and action. So this is where it kind of starts to get worrying, right? Because we know that SQL injection attacks are really serious deal, right? It's not a joke. You'll take down the whole system, access what you're not supposed to, and so on. But when talking to LLM, this concept is absent. There is absolutely no separation between command and data. It's all one giant chunk of text. And because of that, people ask like, well, they asked Sam Altman, right, the guy who created OpenAI, what do you think about this? And his opinion was, he said that we will be able to detect up to 95% of injection attacks in the future. So again, we will be able to detect up to 95%. So that means it's a theoretical limit. We will not be able to identify 5% of injection attacks going to LLM. That's crazy. If that was happening to SQL Server, no one would use that, right? So if you put it on that perspective, it's crazy that you can trust LLM to do anything. So now, considering our possibility of an injection attack, we need to go back to the model that AI browser or AI powered application gives us, right? So let's say we're taking unknown data from which is a content of a website or something that we're browsing, a piece of data that we are not controlling. If we're going to give that data to AI, we must not allow AI to take any action that could be damaging, right? So if you allow AI to modify settings on your computer or send emails on your behalf or do something like that, those are the things that Microsoft wants to do, right? They want Windows to be like AI powered. Well, if you take unknown data from a website, you must not allow any action to be taken that could be damaging in any way. You basically have to stop at summaries or simple things like that. Now, on the other hand, if you have data that you do trust and you give it to AI, in that case, it is maybe okay to let AI take actions on behalf of the known data that AI received that you control, which is your own prompt, your own text, something that you've generated. In that case, you can let it take actions over here. But if you have data over here that you didn't see, there could be hidden text or anything like that, that means you cannot put it into AI and let AI take action. Simply because AI injection attacks. And those are going to happen, they have happened, and there are going to be more of them. And as Sam Altman says, they're going to be 5% of them will go through by design. Now, I generally try to avoid doing these doom and gloom videos, end of the world kind of thing, but I feel like this is kind of an appropriate thing that people should be aware of. So whenever you turn on those AI features and enable AI browsers, AI applications, whatever it is, be very careful with what you allow AI to do on your behalf using data that you haven't seen. So that's my opinion on the matter. If you have yours, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you in another video.